Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2017 Cool Duck Finals, our 5 and under curling event here at the Ardsley Curling Club. I'm your host, Matt Shiner, here with our color commentator, Danny Casper. Danny's one of our young and up-and-coming stars. Danny, what do you think about today's contestants?
I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. Dan's playing very well. I'm excited to see how he plays today. They've been playing well the whole weekend and see how it goes.
Yeah, so we have a matchup between one of our host clubs here at Ardsley, Team Gerlach, and they are playing a team from Philadelphia, Team Timm. The Philadelphia guys were quite the surprise. Nobody here really knew who they were, and we're happy to see that they're doing very well this weekend. Okay, yeah. And so boom goes the dynamite. We're gonna leave it off for the Piper here. You guys can watch the Piper finish off, and we will start our game in just a few moments here. For those of you who don't know about our curling traditions, we start every tournament final with a procession led by a bagpiper. Our piper today is Mr. Rob Roberts from the Long Island Curling Club. Thank you, Rob, for helping us out. And after we pipe out, we toast with a shot of Drambuie before we start the game. So they're handing out the Drambuie now, and they're going to have a little toast.
And this afternoon, our featured game is on Sheet B. And this is the first event final of the Cool Duck 2017. And this is going to be Team Philly. Julie Timm is the skip. Her vice is Paul Baddeley. Second is Susan Robinson. And their lead is David Stanach, or as they call him, Davy Nuggets. And throwing the Yellowstones against Philly is team from Ardsley, Dan Gerlach at skip. Steve Agostino is the vice. Second is Tom Daly, and the lead is Susan Peterson.
that is our expert producer, John Schuster. Thank you, John. We also have our B event final over on Sheet A. That is Team Albany-Romero with the Yellowstones and Team Broomstones-Dawson with the Redstones. And over on Sheet C, we have Team Myers from Coastal Carolina with the Yellowstones and Team Boyle from Philadelphia with the Redstones. So we will give you updates on those sheets as well. However, we're going to focus most of our time talking about the A event final here in Sheet B. So Danny, first end of the finals. You're the skip. What do you call?
Well, it depends on the way you want the game to go, but a lot of times they like to throw one in the house. So then you'll probably be exchanging hits, and you can see how the ice is doing, get used to it. And then second and third end, you kind of get into it a bit more. But also a tight guard, which it looks like they're trying to do here, and just try to get things going right away is another way to go.
Yeah, it looks like she was a little bit lighter than they expected. So unfortunately, that stone hogged. Yeah, sorry about those technical difficulties there a little bit. We got the scoreboard side view working now, guys, so enjoy that. So, Danny, it looks like the ice might be playing a little bit slow. Not really sure why, but these guys are going pretty hard to get that stone there to that number 2 guard.
Yeah, especially in the beginning of the game when the ice is fresh, no one's been playing on it for a little bit. It's pretty slow, but as the game goes on, it'll speed up and they'll get used to it a lot easier. A lot of times you like to throw down all sorts of different paths in the beginning and try to have all parts of the ice the same speed, so you're not guessing later in the game what side is going to do what.
So this is Tom Daly, second for Team Gerlach here at Ardsley. Dan opting for a more aggressive tactic here, trying to get the guards out. I guess with the slow ice, he figured wear the pebble down a little bit, get the speed up, not have to worry about draw weight right away.
Yeah, it is typically easier to do that, but
unfortunately, the stone curled quite a bit more than he thought.
It did, yeah.
A little bit of an interesting twist. Philly puts up a corner guard and then opts to draw in around the center guard. Lucky for them, they tapped up the corner guard and made the right play anyhow.
Yeah, it worked out.
Looks like it's exposed, though, so Dan's going after it.
You know, typically want to use your corner guard after you put it there, and not go around the center, but it worked out.
Welcome to 5 and Under curling. Looks like that stone curled more than they were expecting again. So they peeled off that corner guard. Didn't get the shot that they were looking for, but that looks okay, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's fine. Get rid of the guarding that back one. And looks like all the shots have been over curling, so they gotta keep that in mind. But getting rid of the guard is fine for yellow.
So this is Vice Steve Agostino. Dan's again calling for the hit. Contact, contact, boom goes the dynamite. Special shout out to Rob Young. Thanks for watching, Rob. We're happy to have you online, and we were sad to see you not here this year. But definitely feel better, buddy.
Back line.
So we got some awards for our 4th event final that took place at 10 o'clock this morning, going on behind us. So if you hear a little bit of noise, that's what you're hearing. So while they're doing the awards, we're going to introduce our piper to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Rob Roberts from the Long Island Curling Club. Rob, how'd it go out there today for you?
It was interesting out there. It's cold, it's slippery. I think we all know that. Except my pipes. My pipes were not ready for the cold weather, and I think you guys heard my drones go out there. I tried to get them restarted, and as somebody who curls with me, Matt, at least we could say that my piping is prettier than my curling.
Well, yeah, certainly we know that your curling has some room for improvement there, buddy.
It does. You know what? There's always room to get better, and for me, there's a lot.
And like the New York Giants, we don't really expect much out of you.
I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I don't have a high draft pick for my team next year, so it's not like we're gonna have to turn this around with a lot of practice. I will say though, much like the New York Giants, maybe if I had a bit of coach, it would work a little bit better. And for those of you at home who don't know this, Matt Shiner is my coach.
So what you're saying is I'm stuck with you for at least another year.
You're stuck with me. You're stuck with me.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming down and piping for us. Here in the warm room, we couldn't tell the difference, but so I'm going to say you sounded great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's always fun to come here. Love curling at Ardsley. Love playing at Ardsley. People are wonderful. Always a good time.
And I'm sure you enjoy your special parking spot.
I enjoy the fact that you guys set up a parking spot for me right in front of the curling club. It's a little difficult to get my car through those tight turns, but I managed to do it once again. I might need a tow truck to get me out of here, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But I appreciate not having to walk that far.
Well, thanks for coming down, Rob.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Good luck to everybody.
Oh, look, there's curling going on.
Not only is there curling going on, but Dan Gerlach is getting ready to throw his first skip stone.
Dan Gerlach, skip of the Ardsley team. has a pretty tight broom on the stone there, Danny.
Yeah, he does, especially with all the curl that we've been seeing throughout the whole end. It looks like it's close, though.
Supers are going pretty hard. Yep. That looks like it's over curling. Oh, he got the tick.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Oh, didn't quite get it out. No dynamite there, unfortunately. Eventually, the skips are going to learn that it's curling more than they think. While we're waiting for the skip of the Philly-Timm to set up her rocks, I just want to make sure you guys all know registration is now open for the Big Apple Bonspiel, March 22nd to the 25th, 2018.
Who can enter that, Matt?
It's an open format. Any mixture of men and women is acceptable.
What are those dates again?
March 22nd to the 25th, 2018.
Sounds like fun. This is the second annual Big Apple Bonspiel.
Yes, and hopefully the second of many more. Wow, we're starting to get some viewers now. We've got 20 people watching. We're happy to have all of you here. Anything for you, Rob? Well, Spence, I don't know if it's the wildest time east of the Mississippi River, but I would say that it's the apple-iest bonspiel east of the Mississippi River. That is a beautiful logo, Joe. All right, so we have a rock away from Philly here. They called to draw in. They're tapping up their own. Vice for Ardsley is sweeping his rear end off to try and get it out. So, Danny, you're Mr. Gerlach out there. What are you going to call?
Well, it looks like he's calling the hit, and he doesn't have hammers, so you want to try to either force Red to get 1 point or try to steal. I think he's in a pretty good position to steal here. If he taps the front yellow there and makes that really well, he would be in a really good position, except that it is a pretty difficult shot, especially since they haven't thrown many draws yet. And
it's pretty curly here.
Yeah, they don't know the weight or line very well. But
so if he hits and sits, I think the force is on
pretty
well.
Yeah, he's still probably going to force with the hit and stick.
However, if he hits and rolls out,
there's a different story. They can hit and sit a few if he rolls out.
That's right.
He's throwing it pretty hard.
All right, comes down in. Boom goes the dynamite, and it rolls to the center a little bit. Not a bad shot. Looks like we got some pretty exciting pants over here on sheet C.
Unfortunately, sheet C had to go for style over substance this game. They're missing one of their players due to injury, so they're playing with a 3-person team.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
That's the Philly-Boyle rink is playing. Sean Boyle is throwing his skip rock now, and John Moylan is playing, and Ingrid Lux is out there on the ice, and their 4th player is sidelined with an injury this afternoon.
Danny, you're still under 5, aren't you? You want to
Yes,
run out there and
I
sub
am.
for them?
I would like to.
Okay, so this is the hammer. Philly-Timm throwing. Supers are going pretty hard. This might be a little too light.
Looks
Actually, it
pretty
is not
good.
light at all. Right
Beautiful.
down to that yellow. Beautiful shot. Count them up. 1 for red. So while we're waiting for them to get set up for the second end, do we have an ad we want to play? So 1 for red, and we get set up for the second end. Just a reminder, the Big Apple Bonspiel is going to be March 22nd to the 25th, 2018, right here at the Ardsley Curling Club. So this is lead Dave. Oh, we even have our Ardsley
located right off the
ad.
Parkway in
This is
Westchester.
great.
Come learn to play with a friend or let us host your next party. Visit ardsleycurling.com now for more information.
So our second event over on Sheet A is still playing in their first end, but we have a score update on Sheet C. It looks like it was 3 for red, which is Philly-Boyle. So Philly-Boyle's up 3-0. And of course here on our featured sheet, 1-0 for Philly-Timm. All right, so it looks like she's opting to hit that yellow rock because it is in the house.
Yeah, it did end up in kind of an odd spot. They called for a corner guard, and usually if it's heavy, you bring it deep into the house, but they kind of got caught in between shots. So it is in a bit of a difficult spot, but
Yeah, the slow ice might be throwing them for a little bit of a loop.
yeah, it dies quickly. It's hard to tell.
Unfortunately for Philly, they only got a piece of it, and now they got one out in the wing.
Yeah, that position of that yellow actually works out very well for yellow. Having one on the side with hammer.
We do have a score update on Sheet A. Looks like the red Broomstones-Dawson scored 2 in their first end. So it is 2-0 Dawson over Carolina Myers. Special shout out to Corey Fisher, former club member, had to move out of town. Corey, welcome. Happy to have you here. Thanks for coming. So red calls for the draw behind the center guard. Unfortunately, it looks a little heavy through the house.
2, 1.
So Corey, should we assume that you're playing at Potomac this year? So Dan's opting to peel the center guard here rather than draw behind his corner guard.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's one thing to peel if you have 2 already in the house, if that yellow is deeper, but they have a corner guard, they might as well use it. If they were to peel that and roll out, red would probably hit their yellow, and they would be in not as good of a situation to get 2 as they were before.
Yeah, not only that, I'm curious to see if this high hit percentage game is going to come to bite them in the rear end later when they need draw weight.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure you still know the draw weight throughout the whole game. It changes, and the last shot usually comes down to a draw.
So as long as Corey asked, the Big Apple Bonspiel is March 22nd to the 25th, 2018. It is open format, meaning any mixture of men and women is acceptable. And it's a good time, and it has, I would say, the best logo of any Bonspiel here at the Ardsley-Gerlach Club.
Registration is open now.
Registration is now open.
Go to www.ardsleycurling.com.
Yes, just a quick informational point here. Thank you, Nick. The Big Apple Bonspiel is a 21 and over event, so it's what we like to call an adult cool duck kind of event. Oh, look, there's curling going on. So Boyle, Tim calling for the hit. Got a little kiss off of the guard to make the hit. Boom goes the dynamite. So it looks like Dan's calling for hit and roll under the corner guard.
It's risky depending on what red will do, because if they were to draw around those 2 guards up there, well, they would be in a pretty good position and cause some problems for them. But I still think this is the right call.
Yeah, particularly in a 5 and under event, I would say if you can hit a stone that's open, you might as well hit it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the rock overcurled again, and they're still not adjusting their brooms.
Shocking.
So Tim calling for the guard, protect her shot rock. Another option might be to draw behind those guards and get one in now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. They would somehow miss this, and Dan decides to get rid of those guards up there and have it open. That's good for him. But if red were to draw in behind those guards, not having hammer, it would cause some problems for Dan, and he would have to do something with it.
Sweepers are going pretty hard here. Stone looks pretty good. Pretty well covered. Dan wants to take a look at it from every angle possible, just to make the game go a little bit slower. And now he's calling for the peel with not very much ice again.
Expecting those here.
I'm expecting
Over
those
curl.
here. Yeah.
2, 1.
Didn't get the nose, but I think he hit the opposite side of the stone that he called for.
Now there's even more of an opportunity for yellow to draw in behind cover.
Well, it's red's.
Or, yeah,
red's
red. Either one, really.
Yeah, whoever's throwing can throw behind those guards. And it looks like that's what she's calling for. I'm not quite sure if that's enough ice. Maybe she knows something about herself. Maybe she has a tendency to be wide.
Could be true. Every delivery is different.
If there are any Philly curlers out there that would like to chime in on the live chat, we'd be happy to have a little conversation with you as well. It doesn't have to be just the Ardsley curlers who are too lazy to drive 10 minutes to the club. And with that comment, we're down viewers.
Maybe we're down viewers because they all just hopped in their car and they're rushing here.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
That's what we'll go with.
Yeah, we'll see. The warm room is going to fill up pretty quickly. We hurt Seth's feelings.
We love you, Seth. You know it. Sweepers are just looking at it. And they draw to the back four. That's a pretty good rock to freeze to if you're yellow.
It is. With hammer, though, he's trying to get two. If he makes a freeze and red could guard it or freeze on it again, it would be hard for him to get two. But it is.
Yushi says he's watching from the parking lot that Hill is too much of a killer. So Dan is opting for the hit. This is surprising. Well, Spence, I think Mr. Walter Baggett would say that a stone behind the tee worth a damn. So, Danny, if you were yellow, would you consider hitting the higher red one? Try to sit numbers 2 and 3. This way you could get a bigger end?
Yeah, you could. You could hit the higher one and try to roll over a little bit, and then with your next shot, you might have an opportunity to run it in and get multiple points. But the one on the button is the danger rock. That's what they're going for. But like I said, it is hard to get two from this if you're yellow. Looks like that one did. Oh.
And in football, that would be 3 points. Fortunately, flashes right through the uprights. Well, hello, Johanna. Thanks for joining us. So obviously, red opting here to throw a guard.
Yep.
They're sitting 2.
Yep, and they don't have hammers, so even if they steal one, they'll be happy.
And hello, Kate Boyle. I assume that you might be related to a certain Sean Boyle throwing on sheet C. So the guard's coming down. Sweepers are looking at it. Might be a little heavy.
No. Sweep it over. Sweep it over.
And back for weight. So here's where that draw weight comes into question now. So he's drawing in against 3. He's got backing.
Yep, does have backing.
His hit flashed. Does he call for the hit or does he call for the draw? He looks like he's going for the draw.
Looks like he's, trying to tap it back a little bit. I think there's still a decent range, not a huge range, but if you miss, come up heavy a little bit, you might still just give up one.
Yep. So Philly folks, if you could tell us what the Timmy Shimmy is, we'd be happy to talk about it. Yeah, my voice is a little shot. We had a little fun boat racing last night, so a little bit Hazrick, but still happy to be here for you guys.
Yep.
It was one hell of a boat race, that's right.
Philly boat races at the we'll be there, March 22nd.
Wait, looks good.
Sweepers are going pretty well. Let's see what happens here. Down to the one in the back. From the top-down camera, it looks like red, so that's one for red.
Yeah, that's still a pretty good shot from Dan.
Good shot for Dan. Cut him down to one, which is important. You don't want to let this game get out of hand. It's only the second end. If they steal one, it's not the end of the world. If they steal three, that's a killer.
That's pretty bad.
So it looks like we have a substitution. Not out on the ice, but here in the in the broadcast booth. Special thanks to Danny Casper. It was a good two ends with you, man. And looks like we've upgraded to the larger Casper. So hello, Jeff. How are you, sir?
Hi, Matt. Good to be here. Who do we have online?
We have about 28 people online, some of them from Philly, most of them from Ardsley, and a couple Long Islanders mixed in.
Well, the Ardsley people should get in their car and get down here.
That's what I said about an end ago.
That's a crossgrade.
So that was an interesting first end on sheet B. Dan really had to make a big shot there at the end.
Yeah.
And Matt, I have to say, you and Joe Sablo and Nick Beaton and all of the people that have been helping here, it's just another fabulous event.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. That's nice of you to say.
Everybody seemed to be having a good time since they're all tired and hungover today. So
Definitely,
last
Mr.
night
Nick
went
Beaton
well.
gets most of the credit. He worked his butt off, put together a good event. He's been working for months on this thing.
Well, it shows. What's nice to see is that a lot of people have showed up with their own duck gear. T-shirts and hats and socks and ties.
And for those of you who can see that yellow blob on the top of the screen on the warm room side, that is a giant duck hanging from our rafters.
I don't know how we actually found a blow-up cool duck, but leave it to you guys.
And you could go back and watch the end of the broadcast for last night's last game, and you might see some interesting video of some people riding a big giant blow-up duck out on the ice.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. So this one's sailing through the house here. I guess the ice is picking up. I don't know, it's going to maybe make it.
Yeah, bit into the back eight. So they have a high guard. They have one in the back eight. Looks pretty exposed. And Yellow has one on the wing. So Dan's opting for a hit.
This is always hard for a lead to throw a guard and then a hit. It's going to have enough curl on it. I think she may put the side of it. No, it's wide.
So that was lead Susan Peterson, Dan's wife, of course. We just got married this summer down in Jamaica. It was a good time. I drank a lot of rum.
This is first shot, second of the seconds.
This is Susan Robinson from Team Philly.
sweepers say it's heavy. So maybe it'll draw around nice behind that high guard. If they got to sweep it hard to get it to be buried, it's not going to quite make it.
It's a good guard for the shot rock for now. Although that shot rock is in the back 8. And we all know Mr. Baggett, stone behind the tee ain't worth a damn. So Dan opting for the hit again. Tight ice again.
This is second stone's Tom Daly. This is his specialty here, these high hits. Let's see if he gets lucky and flips the one in the back.
Well, it overcurls again. Dan not adjusting to the swing of the ice today. Derek.
Is that biting on the end there?
Maybe. It's close. So, Jeff, Derek Kaiser wants us to spice up the broadcast. I think he's confusing spice and herb, but
it'd be nice if she's going to throw another guard here, but you know, burying one in wouldn't be so bad either.
Absolutely. And a special welcome to Mr. Nick Beaton. Hey, Nick. Welcome to the broadcast booth.
Heyo.
Thank you, Nick, for putting on such a great event this weekend. You really did a great job. Everybody seemed to have a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to doing it again next year.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine. And I kind of took it over from you, Matt, but you've been here, I think, more hours than I was here. So I don't know who's doing the better job. I have a feeling it's you.
Well, that's nice of you to say. But you can return the favor in a few months, March 22nd to the 25th, 2018, at the Big Apple Bonspiel.
I will be there. I feel like I have to be there. I joined the broadcast because maybe you saw me out on the ice on sheet A. One of the Broomstones guys asked me if it's allowable for a left-handed curler to shoot from the left hack. She requested to do that because she claims there's a depression where her slider is on her right foot coming out of her hack. So she wanted to use the other hack. Technically, that's not allowed. The hack that you start in is the one that you have to finish the game in, but the other team had already allowed her to do it. So we're going to let it slide.
That's an interesting circumstance. I'm surprised to see that happen here.
I did go out there. That's what I was out there. I did notice a slight depression where her slider would be, and yeah, I could see how that could be annoying.
So Dan
Victor, they could fill the depression, but we don't want to delay the game by having to take the time to let that water freeze.
They're still on sheet B guarding that back stone.
Oh, you mean there's still curling going on?
Don't know if that's one you want to be bothered guarding, but they're doing it. So this is interesting to me. Dan's got the hammer.
Yes.
So he wants to try to clear out the middle as best he can.
Yes.
And for a minute there, he was talking about not removing that. He could also draw around the other side, which would be a decent approach. Leave that guard up there and that back stone there. If he just puts one in the 8-foot, he's in the power position here to get two. It looks like he's going to try to take out that red one on the end and roll behind.
And again, not giving a lot of ice. I have a feeling before Steve even lets go of this rock, that this rock is going to sail in and not touch a thing.
It's got enough weight.
Unfortunately for Dan, Steve was wide on the shot. But so he's just going to hit it on the outside and roll out. I agree with you, Jeff. That shot call was a mistake.
Well, Dan has been the whole spiel erring on the side of a takeout, it seems to me. I think it's a function of his players. He's more comfortable calling takeouts for his players? I don't know.
Well, it's worked thus far for him. He's in the final event, so shouldn't break with what's working.
Might be scary when he has to do that final draw, and everybody's been throwing takeouts the whole game.
Well, he made a nice one last time. I don't know if you saw that. You're out on the ice. It was you needed to hit right on the button to save him, and he did give up one, but just barely. So as long as he feels comfortable with that shot, he's going to be in good shape. This one must be light. The sweeper skip's coming out to help. I don't know if that's always a good idea to have the skip run out there and help. I'm not sure how much extra help that really gives, and now nobody's got the line.
It's never a good idea.
Right. And what we always say in our classes that we teach here is if the skip does come out to help, whoever's dogging it the most should get out of the way. 3 is a crowd. Yeah. There's some debate on the chat here, Nick, about why we even have 2 hacks in the first place. And I think Victor said it pretty well, that it dates back to the days of the lift delivery, so that when you lifted and then put the stone back down, that the stone was on the center line. And obviously most curlers don't lift anymore. And I would say that over the next 20 years or so, when the lift delivery pretty much has disappeared, we might see it go down to a single hack.
So Steve is going to try to run this guard back. The interesting thing is if he makes this, which is a pretty low percentage shot, the 2 stones on the right come into play. And he has just missed.
It's a good try.
And now he's got another guard to deal with.
Ha ha ha, Derek Kaiser. He's still unhappy that I told him that the first game of our Monday competitive league, he needed to make a draw to the button to stay in the league. And right before I shot, I'm like, hey, you're the skip. You're supposed to make this shot. And he's not letting me live that down. He made the shot, so it's okay now.
So for those of you that don't know, Nick and Derek do not play together anymore.
There might be it wasn't my choice.
Exactly. We know it wasn't your choice.
Just to relay the scores from the other sheets, it looks like Broomstones is out to a big lead, 4-0 after 2, and they're playing the third, and it looks like they're counting stone as Broomstones in the third. And on sheet C, it is already 5-0. Is that Coastal Carolina's losing that to
Philly-Boyle.
Philly-Boyle. It looks like they're going to another tough end ahead of them here as Philly's counting perhaps 3 in the fourth and
so
third.
Again, we have some Philly curlers talking about the Timmy Shimmy. Maybe somebody could explain to us what that is.
So this might play nice if it slows down. On sheet B. And you got to sweep that so it's behind cover. You're a little late on that sweep, actually.
Yeah, that's a good shot, though.
But that's going to make life a little more difficult. That was a good shot by
it's close,
Philly.
But it looks like it's number 2.
See, they're fixated on that back stone.
From my angle, you got almost all of that front red stone if they wanted to drive that back.
Well, what Philly did there was smart. They made sure they were second stone.
Or as close to it as possible, anyway. Tough to tell from the angle on the top-down camera, but it looks from here like it's 2 red right now.
Another big end for Philly on sheet C. They're up 8-0 now.
Yep.
I think Coastal Carolina with the Nags is running out of steam here. So that's really a nice curling story is they meet people on different bonspiel. They come up, they visit, they stay in their house. and form a team.
They drove up from North Carolina. Drove.
And again, Dan calling very tight ice on this hit. And another Walter Baggett euphemism. When in doubt, hit the high one, and he's hitting the low one.
Yeah, it's curling way more than he thought.
Way more.
And he's just going to tip it. So you're right. He's not calling enough ice for himself. What I thought would happen there was he would put, a lot of skips do this, they put the broom down as if they were throwing it. And if he throws a heavy takeout, maybe some of his teammates aren't as heavy, and he needs to remember to adjust the broom outward. But in that case, he didn't throw it heavy enough for his own broom. So hopefully he's taking notes and can make that adjustment. But he did move it over a little bit. I don't know if it's to be in a little bit of a better spot.
I could go out and tell him. Or maybe I can't.
I think that would be cheating, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure that's right out of the cheating playbook.
I mean, unless they call the coach's timeout, and then obviously as the coach, you could go out.
Ooh, I'd love to do that. Could I walk out really, really slowly? Because that doesn't count against the clock, right? The amount of time it takes to get down there.
All right, let's see if we can see this shimmy thing you got going on.
Now, if she parks another one in the house here, that would be a bonus. And then the Gerlach rink is going to have to play some defense for sure.
Oh,
there's the shimmy.
Okay, now I know what they're talking about. Now I get it.
Looks like this one's going toward the house as well. She's really putting the hammer down. The shimmy works.
The shimmy definitely works. Is it going to bury? Might be a little heavy.
That is still third stone.
That's shot rock, actually. They're sitting 3, it looks like. Maybe 2, depending on the red-yellow measure.
Well, Nick, here you go. Dan's got to make that draw.
Oh, we have a top-down view. Thank you, John. Our technical expert, John Schuster, ladies and gentlemen. And Victor, thank you for your comment. John did read what you wrote, so we appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, so right now it's 2 red, maybe 3.
Yeah, from this angle now, it actually looks like yellow is third.
He's got to throw a draw here, guys. I don't know what he's... Okay.
Victor's asking about shoot A. Is red sitting second or third shot? From our view, it looks like red is third shot. And they just hit. So,
I think yellow's 1.
Looks like 1 for yellow, and then red is 2 and 3.
Yeah, the counting stone is on the top 12. And the second stone it's pretty close between the 2 red ones on the back and on the side. And the 4th stone is definitely the yellow one on the back. All of these are going to move anyway.
All right, so this is our hammer. Dan drawing in. Got to get full white here, full 8 foot.
It looks close. They are trying to, when they don't sweep and then they come up and come down, you know it's going to be close. So he's got it.
And that's right to the 4 foot. Beautiful shot. Count them up. That's 1 for yellow. So while we have our break, setting up for the next end, this is a good time to announce that the Big Apple Bonspiel is going to be March 22nd to the 25th. It is an open format event. Any mixture of men and women is acceptable, and registration is now open. Thank you, John.
In the ad business, they call that wear out. So she's cleaning her stone here, which is always a good move. You know, a lot of curlers don't do that for some reason. never know what you're going to pick up out there.
So over on sheet A, it looks like it was one yellow. That one on the top. Yeah, so Seth wanted to let you know that in the non-ad business, we call that an awesome drinking game. It is a crazy fun bonspiel, and it is also the appliest bonspiel east of the Mississippi.
Oh, God. So did she want that? Did they want that in the house? I missed the call. Because, on the commentary, they're not paying attention.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were still curling.
So this is smart. They're just going to draw down toward it or do their best. If they play just a straight takeout here, they're basically playing for one. So they're going to try to, although they missed the shot, they're going to try to keep some more rocks in play and hope for a bigger end.
Yeah, I think the original call from Dan was for the center guard. So score update for you. Looks like it is 4-2 in favor of Broomstones on sheet A. It is 8-0 in favor of Philly on sheet C. And of course our feature game, 2-1 in favor of Team Philly.
Looks like they're trying to throw a guard here, which is a good idea. Somewhere. No, that's not a guard. Just loading up the house.
So that's an opportunity for Philly now.
Looks like she's going to try to sit on the back stone.
Seth, the raffle went pretty well last night. You did win a couple prizes. They're waiting for you here in the warm room.
Actually, I'm drinking them. If he doesn't get down here in a half an hour or so.
Well, Jeff, I really hope that you use the one raffle that Seth won, which is the ducky costume. I would really love to see you wearing that before the day is over.
Oh, never mind.
And I think the other one he won a bottle of turpentine. Is that what you've been sipping on all morning?
That's actually not a bad lead for Red. They're in there. They can use that stone later. I know they wanted it a little deeper than that. Dan is really playing aggressive end here. He's just throwing everything in the house.
Special shout out to our friends from Albany watching. Happy to be entertaining for you today.
We had a lot of Albany teams here for the Big Apple Bonspiel. when was that again?
March 22nd to the 25th, 2018. It is an open format, and registration is now open. Oh, we even get the swipe going. Good job, Johnny.
So they're still trying to throw the freeze here. When you get all of the rocks in the house here in the beginning, it usually tips favor to the team with the hammer if they can make the shots. But they flashed that one. That was a big miss. Now Dan's going to try to take that very spot, maybe go a little higher. And if they make this shot, then I think they've taken control of the end. They're yelling top house. And now they're up. Looks like it's deep.
So Victor's asking if Ardsley is going to go to the 5-rock rule in our bonspiels next year. I'm not sure that we've discussed that yet. There has been some talk about whether or not our league should go to the 5-rock rule.
I think if it's faster, do it. If it isn't, don't.
Yeah, keeping pace might be the reason whether the decision goes one way or the other.
So this is a chance for a double here for Timm. And she's a little narrow here. Oh, but there was a nice leave. So they are now counting stone. That was a beauty.
So Eric is asking, what is the 5-rock rule? So Eric, you know how right now the free guard rule is the first 4 rocks only? Well, the World Curling Federation adopted the change in the rule to make that 5 rocks instead of 4. So the 5th rock would be a free guard as well as the original first 4. When the WCF did adopt that, it will take effect next curling season. So starting basically September, October-ish of 2018.
And we'll spend a whole season forgetting the 5-rock rule.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you write the wrong date on the checks for about 9 months after the new year. That'll be the 5-rock rule.
Yeah. Yeah, so Victor mentioning that Broomstones is considering it for their top league. That's, as we were saying, we discussed it for our leagues. That particularly was the one league we were talking about as our competitive league that we play here on Monday nights. Not necessarily sure we would do it for our beginner leagues.
So Gerlach was again heavy with that last shot. It looks like Timm is in the driver's seat here. They got shot stone and behind cover. They've really, if I'm Gerlach, I'm really considering having to clear out some granite here, because this next stone from Timm looks like it's going to be in the way as well.
Well, Timm has the hammer here, and they're only sitting 1. This being 5 under curling, Gerlach might start considering putting up a bunch of guards, junking it up, so to speak.
So, right. So red is currently looking probably at 1, unless Gerlach can put up a guard on the opposite side of the 4-foot.
Yeah, protect
right.
the 4-foot.
Well, what's interesting is the shot they threw just now, it's loaded, right? So you have red, and against yellow. You push that yellow one out, and you can squirt the red one back a little bit. They could be 1 and 2 with an opening.
That's very true.
So
what did he just call for? T-line?
I think he's trying to just load up the 4-foot. If he makes this, it'd be hard for them to get anything more than 1. If there's any newer curlers out there, if you have hammer and you only get 1, that's considered you lost, because you're giving up the hammer to the other team and you only got one point out of it. This is, it needs to curl more than it is. Here it comes. Now what Tom is doing is he's sweeping from the outside in. And the newest logic for sweeping suggests that if you do that, you'll push the rock away from yourself, and therefore it'll curl a little bit more in the direction away from the boom, which is why both sweepers weren't sweeping, only the one was.
And as we know, when you're watching the curlers on TV, they don't do that anymore because they have the modified broom heads, which
don't matter.
Don't allow for that advantage of the single sweep, or directional sweeping, as we call it. Jeff, Seth wants to invest in a telestrator for you for next year.
Well, go for it. So I'm not sure what that shot does for red there. That was, they're guarding the guards. They probably could have played that double run back.
And Dan's looking at the dangerous shot, which is the angle raised to get the red out. Unfortunately, if you miss by just a little bit, you could double yourself out, giving red the opportunity to score a big end.
If I'm Team Gerlach here, I'd probably just protect and give red 1. I mean, if it was late in the game and you needed one, you could probably raise the yellow into the other yellow into the red. But that's a super hard shot, and I don't know if you need to do that now. It's only the 4th end, and it's only a 1-point game. So this is a risky endeavor here if he's not throwing a guard. By the way, the Albany team is making a comeback here on sheet A. They're sitting 2. They scored 2 in the last end. And we're down to Skip Stones on sheet A, and they've got to make a shot if you're Broomstones.
All right, so Dan's shot floated a little, I guess.
Yeah, that didn't do anything. But I don't know if red has a shot.
Well, like you said before, you've got the red runner.
I mean, you could hit the Yellowstone just off the 4-foot and rebound in. You could do that. And even if she were just a hit and stick, that's a good miss, because that's probably a shot that Dan's looking at next.
Looks like she's opting to try to potentially get through that port. On our right of the screen, between the red on the center line and the yellow just barely outside the 4-foot. Oh, telestrator. Thanks, John.
Thank God John's here. This whole thing would be a disaster. Not that it isn't already.
Yeah, what says this isn't a disaster?
So I don't know. She's going to try to go through this board here. I probably would have hit the yellow one. Let's see what happens.
I guess you figure you throw it, for a good 2-line weight, and maybe you get a little bump. If
you get in the way, it's fine. As long as you don't allow Dan to do the in-off on the next shot. They're calling 4, which would be about the right weight. 4 would be just past the 12-foot. Just in the 12-foot.
In the 12-foot, yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good shot.
Good bump and roll.
That's a beauty.
Really nice. Not quite counting, but still in good shape.
So the interesting thing here is they've actually opened up a space for Dan to draw, I think. Well, it's a tough shot. He could get in there. He could. He might wreck on the yellow guard on the right, and if he overcurls, he could wreck on the red shot that was just thrown. But you got to try.
He's giving himself quite a bit of ice here. If he gets the proper berry, he's looking at 5 feet of curl.
Let's see what kind of rotation he puts on this stone, too. If
he Thanks, John.
Spins it. All right, shots off. Calling for line. This is probably a little narrow. He's light too. He short-armed that one, Matt. He didn't give himself a chance.
Yeah, but that stone's not in a bad position. It makes the draw around a little bit harder for red.
That's true. It's a good leave. I'd like to switch over to sheet A here for a minute. They've thrown a shot or two since we looked, and now one of the yellow shots, the shot stone is completely buried, and Broomstones has been ruminating over this for a while. And it looks like he's going to try to tap up the red to be counting stone. This is the last.
Sorry, Victor. Unfortunately, we don't have the overheads hooked up for A and C, only on sheet B.
All right, so yellow is counting 1, 2. Red is third stone. And the tap-up is really his only call. He could have drawn, too. Looks like he's playing the tap. It's coming over nice. It's not curling enough. Oh, here it comes. Not quite. It was a good effort. So that's two more. It's tied up.
All of a sudden, we got a game on sheet A.
Albany on the comeback trail. The sheet B is a real mess here. It's like someone threw up on the ice there with all the red and yellow.
Red, yellow. So trying the only shot they really have, draw into the 4-foot.
Right, it's there. It's all a sweeper's. It's a sweeper's job right now. The skip's job is just leave it out for the sweepers to do something with, and don't overthrow it. And they're on a new path out here. And it looks like it's a little bit heavy, and it's going to wreck onto the yellow. Hopefully, it won't promote the yellow in. Okay.
No harm done. So count them up. 1 for red.
It's an interesting end.
Yeah, we went from a high hit percentage to
nothing.
16 draws.
Bringing it all here at the Cool Deck.
So we have a score of 3-1 after 4 ends in favor of Philly-Timm. And let's see where we are. We're a tie game of 4-4 on sheet A, which is Albany and Broomstones. And over on sheet C, we still got 8-0 after 3 in favor of Philly over Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina had a nice run. I'm glad, given their long drive and their commitment to this Bonspiel. They made Sunday. But it looks like this is where the road ends.
Yeah. Looks like they had a lot of fun the whole weekend, though, so that's always good. And they're talking about even bringing more Carolinians next year.
Yeah, we got to get down there.
Kate, no, we're not sure how many Coastal took in the 4th. The scoreboard has not been updated, but we will give you that score update as soon as we get it.
Coastal Carolina is one of the few places I haven't been to on the East Coast. It's a little embarrassing because I've always wanted to go, and I just never.
Well, they have a pretty good spiel in June called the Beach Lighthouse Spiel, which I've heard is quite a bit of fun. It was a potential option for me, I don't know, about 2 years ago, I'd say, and haven't made it down there yet, but it's on the list.
I'm going to pencil that one in. They come up here to curl, we got to return the favor.
Absolutely. And speaking of returning favors, you can return the favor to us when we come to your spiel by coming to the Big Apple Bonspiel, March 22nd to the 25th, 2018. You can register by going to www.ardsley-Gerlach.com and clicking on Bonspiels.
Boy, this rock really cut here right at the end. It's going to be in the rings behind cover. Boy, that curled a ton there right at the end. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Albany is just pouring it in on sheet A. You got 3 more stones counting. This is like the Miami Notre Dame game last night all of a sudden. Nick just told me I'm number 1. You know, Michigan State lost by about 105 yesterday too, so I feel you.
Victor wants to know if Broomstone loses, do we have a bell that we can ring and exclaim the word shame, shame, shame?
Ouch. A long ride back. Route 84 is not kind this time of year. So Gerlach did throw the corner guard there in the beginning and wasn't able to draw around it. And now Timm
he
has
called for it, but they were just a little light.
Yeah.
Timm throwing up another center guard.
That's always a good move if you don't have hammer. You just junk up the middle like that. And now Dan looks like he's going to try to clear a path.
Pretty quickly, so that's good. Good observation. Good reaction.
Boy, that's a beauty shot over on sheet C. Did you see that?
Good sweeping, guys. I didn't give you much there.
Well, Jeff, I'm happy to report that we're way up to 33 viewers now. Sad news is we were at 40, so we're down 7. But
oh no, I'm losing ratings.
For those of you who just joined us, welcome to the show. We hope not to embarrass ourselves.
So Dan did, in fact, clear out some of the
junk in the front.
And now it's going to be Tim's job to put it all back. It's always interesting to figure out, how long you wait before you make a move. It looks like this is going to wreck on the front guard. Maybe they'll get a bump off. Nope, not heavy enough. Okay. So Dan has a nice alleyway here. This is Daly's second shot. These are little testers here. You've been throwing takeouts for a while, and then you got to throw a draw.
I think they called for the hit, actually. Looked like he was trying to hit the shot rock.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want to do that.
Wrecked on the guard again, keeping the broom pretty tight. We have a special delivery here in the broadcast booth. Some specially made kielbasa. Thank you, Mr. Bobble. So it looks like John's just trying to put that guard back. Or, excuse me, Paul.
This is Paul's first. This actually might work out really well. He's a little deep, but he's counting stone and buried.
Yeah, very nice shot.
Good way to miss. All right, so Dan has some options. He can draw down to it because the button is still open. He could sort of throw a very light takedown and remove that guard that's right in front of it. He's got to decide. What do you like here, Matt?
I don't mind playing the hit here. If he hits it nose, he has a chance at, or close to nose anyway, has a chance at the double. Or if he hits it thin and rolls behind his guards, he still opens it up. It gives him a chance at getting to that button stone.
Yeah, I'd like to hit too. He can hit it just about anywhere. It'd be better off. Draws a bit of a ticklish shot. I don't know if you need to play that yet.
Plus, they've been playing so many hits here that I'm not sure that Steve has his draw weight yet.
It looks like they're going to draw here. Looks like a lot of weight, Matt. You're not touching it. The one thing you didn't want to do is throw that heavy. You know, the sweepers have an opportunity to help you, but you got to help them. That being said, we've all done that 100,000 times.
This week.
So now Tim knows what Dan's plan is, so she's going to stop that right up. Let's see if Mr. Baddeley can convert. Over on sheet A, they're still playing defense, is Broomstones, trying to get at those back two counting stones for Albany. They waited a little bit too long to sweep that. The weight was good, but maybe the line could have been a little wider. So hopefully Dan picked up on that.
Yeah, it does take the double away, so it does do a little bit of help for Philly.
He does definitely need to draw this time. But this is Steve's second chance at this. Is that the same broom, or is it more ice? Looks the same.
It looks the same, yeah.
Should maybe give more, because he was heavy last time. A little more broom. And they're sweeping this one. This might be close. That's going to just clear. And
just a little heavy.
Just passed.
Just a little heavy. That was a good try by Steve.
Yeah, very good.
Unfortunately, it leaves Philly an opportunity to junk it up even more.
Now let's see if Tim remembers and gives a little bit more broom. The weight was good.
Lots of rocks in play over on sheet A.
It's like yellow Albany is still counting 3.
Maybe even 4 with that potential biter in the front.
That's what they're going to hit here momentarily is Broomstones. Maybe they can get 2 out of the way. And unfortunately, they've gone a bit wide.
Well, there's no question about the biter now.
It is now fully on, and they're counting 4.
Yellow at the moment.
Wow.
So it looks like this is Albany's last shot. And I assume they're going to throw a guard.
We hope. I like your shirt. What's it say? Please stop quacking, or
release the quacking.
Oh, brother. Sponspiel's taking on a life of its own, Matt. All right, Stone is off on sheet B, and it looks like they are going to over curl again. They're trying not to touch it in case it stops, and oh, it just stops, but there is a port there. And quickly over on sheet A, it looks like they're pouring in another for 5 shot stones. But they're giving Broomstones an opportunity
yep,
to cut them way down. So the quacking was not stopped there. Not quite. People ask me why this is called the cool duck. And I say the duck is our mascot.
Yep.
And then they say, why is the duck our mascot? There are several stories, if you want to tell one.
Yeah, the one that I know is that back when the club was first built, they didn't necessarily have the best ice in the world, and when you threw the rocks down the ice, it waddled down the ice like a duck.
Right.
And I heard there was a little bit of a rivalry between St. Andrews and Ardsley.
St. Andrews is a country club just down the street.
That used to have curling there.
Right.
And St. Andrews folks, we believe, used to call the Ardsley folks the Ducks because of their bad ice, in sort of a derogatory way. And the Ardsley people decided to just own it.
And we did.
So is that...
That is, he was very narrow, Broomstones. And that is going to be 5.
So count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for yellow.
What a comeback by Albany. And the shot is off on sheet B. And they've got to make it through that port.
5 more, John. Was it by counting?
Oh, look at this shot by Dan.
Very nice shot. Beautiful.
Wow.
If this was the Everest Curling Challenge, that would be 2 points. All right, so. Oh, that was not the hammer. That was Dan's first shot, I guess.
Yeah, you're doing your best Harry Carey impersonation. Not paying attention to the game you're calling.
Now let me ask you something. If you were a hot dog and you were in the bottom of a pool, would you eat yourself? I know I would. I'd be delicious. That's my best Harry Carey impression, and I know it's pretty terrible.
Well, for Yankee fans out here, Phil Rizzuto used to read recipes on the air in the 6th and 7th inning. So it could be worse. That was really a great shot by Gerlach. It was a pressure shot through a narrow port, and he's counting stone.
But unfortunately, it wasn't the hammer, so now Philly has a shot.
He's making them think about it, though. She basically has to
Absolutely.
draw down next to him. I don't know if she'll be able to push him out of there because it's a pretty big curl that she would need to have. But she could, if she just taps him a little, that could help.
Or even just freeze on it so that he doesn't have a shot to get 2.
Right.
You know, they're up 3-1 now.
They give up 1 and
They
get
give
the
up
hammer
1,
back.
get
That's
the
a
hammer
win.
in the even end.
Right, that's a win. If she holds him to 1. So basically, all those misses they had before the Gerlach, he played them into having to play a force, and he had to make a good shot to do it.
So Tim's shot is away. The sweepers are looking at it. Might be a little heavy.
It's curling now.
It's definitely hooking in. That is looking pretty good. Although,
Yeah, she was a
Dan
little.
still has the same shot. He could draw in for 2
He
now.
can draw in for 2.
All he needs is full red, full 4-foot, and he can get his deuce.
Right.
What we would call a skipper's deuce.
Tim did the one thing she couldn't afford to do, which was be heavy.
Be heavy, yep.
And she's kicking herself now for sure, because he just played this shot. So he's going to know the ice and he's going to know the weight. Coastal Carolina put up 4 quick points on sheet C. Scored 3 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th. So this is turning into a bit of a game as well on sheet C.
Yep, we have a current score of 8-4 in the 6th end in favor of Philly-Boyle.
Maybe we read their obituary a little too soon.
This is 5 and under curling, so you never know. Anything is possible. Dan's shot is away. Sweepers are looking at it. I think they waited a little too long on that. Yeah. Oh, it crashed the guard. Definitely waited too long. It's definitely these stones are moving more than they were yesterday, and I think that's getting to these players here on sheet B.
Oftentimes when you're calling line, you got to anticipate the curl, and once it starts curling, it's sometimes too late.
Another Walter Baggett-ism. If it looks good, you're already too late. So that's just 1 for Ardsley. So we have a current score of 3-2 after 5. And while we're waiting for them to clean up the stones, do we have something we want to show the folks? The Big Apple Bonspiel is March 22nd to the 25th, 2018. Registration is now open. Go to www.ardsleycurling.com. Thank you, Johnny.
Yes, for line. Okay, up. Just stay with it. Like with a little heavy.
This is turning into a pretty tight battle here on sheet B.
Yeah, we haven't had any multiple point ends. Always nice to see a close game in the final. Give the viewers something to watch.
So this is an interesting play by Philly. You throw one in with your first shot and then immediately throw a takeout. It looks like they're trying to either blank the end or it'll be another low-scoring end.
Yeah, not really sure why they would want to play for a blank here, being that they have the hammer and the even end and a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, I was expecting a corner guard there. But now I'm sure Dan is quite content to hit out this end. Or not. Pretty sure Dan and I would call a completely different game.
Yeah, looks that way.
Doesn't mean one is right or one is wrong. So he is pointing for a center guard. She gave that one a bit of a push. So it looks like this one's coming in as well.
Smile, we're on candid camera. Hey, folks.
Well, Matt at least dressed up for the occasion.
Well, they don't call me Mr. Ducky for nothing.
So Gerlach's done a huge favor to Philly here by allowing her to keep that stone in play and then play this hit.
Absolutely.
Well, no.
Unfortunately, the swingy ice got to them.
Still got to execute. All right, Deanna, what's it going to be? So he's going to guard his shot stone, which is probably smart. He's also trying to figure out how they don't get the run back. But I got to tell you, Matt, those run backs are tough. Even
yeah. Particularly on swingy ice. It's kind of funny knowing how swingy the ice is today. You'd expect that you'd see more of a draw game.
Right, and we're not.
We're not at all. On both sides, really.
He's taking this out as well. But if he takes this and he rolls over nice, maybe even to the other side, he'd most definitely be in the driver's seat. And Tom does make these shots. Looks like he's got another one.
That's a nice shot by Tom there.
If they're still close together, she can double those out if she really needed to. But it's such a tight game.
Yeah,
she's probably just going to hit the back one.
Not calling for it, though. She's calling for the back one. Back to our Walterisms. When in doubt, hit the high one, right?
Right. Exactly. Remember, Philly has the hammer. Red is hammer.
All right, well, the good news is they hit the high one.
They did. They did. That didn't hurt them at all. But see now, because they've been playing a hit game, she basically has to wait for Dan to miss.
Right.
You don't want to do that. You want to assume your opponent makes every shot.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, this being a 5 and under event, there are misses.
And he is going to play the take, which he should. Let's see how much this curls. I don't think they've come this way, really. Steve is keeping this nice and straight for them. And that's a beauty. Slight chance at a double.
Yeah, the thin double's there. Or as I like to say, the triple's there. Triple's always there.
You just have to know where to look.
That's right. And while we're waiting for the stump to come down, make sure you register for the Big Apple Bonspiel, March 22nd to the 25th, 2018.
She's just playing a sit here, it looks like. So she's trying for her 2 now, but that's a little light. So she's actually ended up guarding Dan. So he should probably leave that there.
Thanks, John.
And he's not. He's taking this out. He should leave that. Maybe put a tap on the other side, or... Well, while he's deliberating on sheet A, we have... looks like Albany has just thrown the counting stone. Broomstones sits 2, but behind the tee. Broomstones is up now. It looks like they're trying to hit the counting rock, which is exposed. So Broomstones, if they make this and roll behind cover, they look like perhaps they can get multiple points in this end.
And they need them because they unfortunately just gave up a 5er.
All right, Steve's shot is off. It looks like he's playing a nice, easy draw, which is good. A little tap.
A little bump, that's okay.
Yeah. That's pretty good, Matt, I think. I mean, he's right in the middle of, got a nice center guard there.
Yep, absolutely.
And all those runbacks are hard. And she's got to really clear up this house here. She's going to try to, looks like she's going to look at the, running back the shot that was just thrown into the counting stone. Why not?
Sure.
You can miss this any number of ways and it would still help her. Okay, Baddeley's shot is off. Let's see if she got him on soon enough. Oh, beauty.
Really nice shot.
See if that clears out. It does.
Out.
Boy, that's
good.
wonderful.
Beautiful.
So the only problem there is now she's guarding the front of the house, but she got the double, which is a tremendous shot.
And it's
nice shot by the
a tight guard, and it's her guard, so
nice
it's a
tap
stone
up.
they could use if they need to.
So it looks like Gerlach is calling the draw. This is not so bad because if he misses, he can maybe tap the yellow up. The other option he has is to take out the counting red stone in the top of the house. What would you do here, Matt?
I don't mind drawing in here.
I think you're right. I like to draw. It looks like he's narrow. He might be in danger of tapping up the red into the blue.
Yeah, again, over curling.
Not enough ice.
Yep. So I said I don't mind the draw, but what I really meant was I don't mind the draw with enough ice.
If he makes it, right. So now he's really given himself a pickle here. She should try
he's
trying to
right
double
now.
these. She's playing it safe and just hitting the one. If she would have knocked both of them out, they'd be sitting 3 with the hammer.
Yep.
So that was a big miss. Nice thing is if she hits the counting stone and rolls over, she's also in very good shape. This doesn't look like a lot of weight thrown by her vice. She's calling line. It means it's a little off. Hit the top one. Gets the roll.
Got one out, got the roll behind, but there is still a rock biting the back 4. Looks from the top down like yellow is just barely out counting red there, but yellow is completely exposed.
Yeah. No, that was he didn't do what he wanted, but it was a good miss.
Not all bad.
Yeah. That's the other challenge that skips off in face is how do I miss this well? That's always a question they have to ask themselves.
And for those of you keeping score at home, in the battle of who could be the worst team in the NFL, the Jets are tied with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at a score of 3-3 at halftime.
I don't think it's beyond debate that the Jets are the worst team in the NFL.
Although, as a Giants fan, I can't really speak too much. Things have been a little quiet on the chat here. Feel free to chime in. Oh, looks like we have handshakes over on sheet A.
Another big end by Albany to finish it off.
They took the scores down off the scoreboard, so we're not really sure exactly what happened on A.
Last I saw, they were sitting 2 and possibly 3, so that was a good time to shake.
And I guess they all wanted to get on the road and get home earlier than later.
Well, they made it to Sunday. They got to feel pretty good about their effort.
Absolutely,
both teams.
And they're both bringing home hardware.
Oh, look at this shot here on sheet B. And he just got a little tick there at the end.
Just clipped it, yep.
That was almost.
Almost perfect.
Now once again, the double's there. So, again, it's about missing well. So he doesn't give himself enough ice, and he crashes. And now he's got 2 yellows right next to each other. This is actually a fairly straightforward double. If she hits the back one first, she could knock into the second one if she really throws a lot of weight. I don't know how much weight she can throw. This requires a lot of weight. Let's see what happens.
So did we get the Timmy Shimmy yet?
She's cleaning the rock.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
And the applause is for the folks walking off sheet A.
She's giving this a pretty good throw. And she says she's light. It seems to be curling in a little too much.
Not going to get the double. Let's see what happens, though.
I don't know if she was going for it. I think she just wanted the counting stone out of there. I don't know about that. She's giving Dan an opportunity to hit and roll here.
I don't know. It looks like he's trying to be a little fancy. I would just get a nose hit, sit 2, make them make a shot.
Well, here's the problem. You nose hit. Can she get them both? No, she can't.
Well, maybe, but she'd have to be perfect, and this is 5 and under curling.
Well, if you nose it, you're going to be above. You're going to be just touching 4. And I don't think she can get both of them out. So, yeah, I think you're right, man. I think that's the right shot. But he's got to stick around. He has to hit it well.
Well, thanks, Victor. Appreciate you watching. Make sure to rib your boys a little bit when they get home next week.
Victor from Broomstones?
Victor is from Broomstones.
Ah, yes.
He's just thanking us and saying goodbye.
Bye, Victor. Good luck tonight.
Victor, say hi to the juniors coming up next weekend for their playdowns. U21 playdowns are at Broomstones next weekend. And the winner goes on to the Junior Nationals. So a big event up at Broomstones.
So it looks like he's just calling for a 2-foot tap.
What do you think of this?
I don't like it, to be honest with you. You have to be spot on with your weight to get the line right. I would rather just throw a control weight hit. They've thrown enough of those that
it's fine, but he hasn't thrown it yet, and he doesn't know the ice.
Exactly.
And he should just hit it. Maybe a control.
That's exactly what I said. Yep, I agree.
This is tough. I mean, he could easily push himself out.
Absolutely.
What?
And if he misses a little light and ends up with a center guard, she could play the hit
for 2.
For 5. If he's light and in the guard zone.
He is light. Here it comes. So Tom has been told to sweep, which means they think it's a little wide. But it is close. But it is light.
Actually, it looks like Tom overswept it for the line there.
That was a good effort.
It was a good effort.
It was a very, very hard call.
Red is still 1, though. And now they have a chance at 2.
Well, this is dicey. She's got to somehow push that yellow one back without hitting herself out. I'd do it, though.
I mean, if she draws to the crotch there, that she ought to be able to outcount the yellow, no?
Yeah, I think you're right. That shot's there.
Tough to say with the camera.
You know, Dan called that I'd probably give that a 5% chance of making it, and he almost made it. I still think the control would have been a much easier shot there for him.
Yeah.
He can throw takeouts.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like Coastal took another one in the 6th, so now we have a score of 8-5.
Wow.
Over on sheet C.
Coastal will not go quietly into that night. Although they're only adding to their drive.
I think they're doing a 2-day drive anyhow. So.
Oh, okay. Good. The other thing to watch is now one of the sheets is empty. So usually what happens is all the ice slows down.
Yeah, it will get a little bit colder out there with less body heat.
So she's looking at A little ticklish shot here. This has got to not be takeout weight. Hopefully she's shimmying her way out of that. She's giving that, she says it's light.
Now she thinks it's not too
Yeah,
late.
now she's changing her mind. This is a tough shot.
Yep, absolutely.
And she's going to maybe wreck on her
she's-
own.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, that is unfortunate. So we got a steal of one for yellow and a tie game.
Right. So here's what's going to happen. Dan's going to come home. He's going to watch this video and hear us busting his chops about that shot he made, and that ended up counting. I still say I'm right.
I agree with you. And unfortunately, I have to work with him. So tomorrow I'm going to hear all about it.
Danger lock.
Danger lock.
All right, it's all tied up after 6 here. That was a big steal by Ardsley. And that was good because it's on an even end. In an 8-end game, you want to have the hammer in the 8th if you can. So if everything plays out accordingly, he's going to have a chance in the 8th end to win if he gets 2. Starting the 7th end now. Look at that mess over on sheet C.
That is a lot of guards.
That's thoroughly guarded. I would have to say nothing is getting in there.
You might say that
short of a blue whale.
You might say that that's the Great Wall of Shiner.
Oh, no. Ouch.
Nothing is finer than a Great Wall of Shiner.
See if they can get that to bite. That's hard to tell. I don't think it's in. You throw one off like that, you should try to drag it in the house if you can. I don't know. That Coastal Carolina's sheet C looks like red is counting 2. Unless that yellow one is in, I can't tell. I think red is 2.
Yellow one looks like it's biting, but the red biter in the back looks like it's out counting yellow from the top-down camera here in the warm room.
Right. That's it. There's that red stone again. That's a huge swing on that rock. Either it's not clean or it's cutting wrong or something, but that has always been a big curl. Have to watch how much handle he puts on it, too. Dan's going to be aggressive here and draw around. Now remember, the goal here, if he can't steal, is just to hold him to 1 and have the hammer coming back in the 8th.
And as opposed to the positioning of the rocks in play already, let's remember yellow does not have the hammer and red does.
Right. That was a bad leave by red. They want to leave the middle of the house open. That's pretty good if it stops. And it will. Great shot by Susan.
Yeah,
so
right
that
to the
changes the
T-line.
whole end. Now red is going to be chasing.
Yep.
That was a money play right there. And rather than remove the guard, she's going to try to draw down there. I don't know about this. Although it isn't, it's still free guard. She could tick it over, though.
Well, it's their own rock.
Oh, it's their own rock. They should get rid of it.
Yeah. But
And
instead,
this
they're
is
putting
also-
up another center
This is
card.
also short. Yeah, I think that other sheet being empty is having an effect there.
Yeah, absolutely. When it is the 7th end, the ice might be getting a little bit flatter, which would slow it down and make it swingier.
And they're probably exhausted by now, too.
It has been a long weekend for them, yeah.
All right, this is Daly's first, and he's going to try to load it up even more. This looks like a guard plus. They're saying 3, which means just before the 12-foot. It looks like it's going to be more than that. If they can drag it around, that will play nice. And it does.
Yeah, beautiful shot.
Okay. So Tim's really got to think about removing some guards here. She thinks she has a play on the lead yellow stone.
Yeah, from this angle, it looks to be about 3/5. We like to talk in fifths when we're talking about how much of the stone you can see, because if you give the sweeper or the shooter the opportunity to use whatever fraction they want, they always say about half. So if you tell them you have to tell me in fifths, then they can never have half the rack.
This looks like a strong shot, Matt.
Oh, just past the guard. 1, 2, boom goes the dynamite.
No one is laughing.
Except for me.
Yeah, it was good 2 hours ago. Over on sheet C, who's playing red there? Philly-Boyle picked up another 2, so they are ahead 10-5, and it looks like they're just throwing through the house.
Just playing them back.
So Philly could take, if they somehow pull out sheet B here, they could take both the A and the C event?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good.
And there was a third Philly team here, Team Capella, that unfortunately for them was out last night, but they had a lot of fun and stuck around for the party last night.
This is deep. Deep.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's a big miss, because now they have a straight
Red
shot,
has a chance. Yep.
and it's going to swing into yellow's or red's favor here. She's able to convert, or she could draw, which
And
looks
she's
like what
calling
she's
a
going to
draw.
do. Good
Yeah.
for her. Okay.
Not a lot of ice though.
No, she's going to give her a little bit more room, but I think that's a good
Hopefully she
vote of
knows something
confidence.
about her shooter.
It's a good vote of confidence for her teammate there. She can make this when you really need to. Takeout would have been an easier play, but it is behind the tee, so I think this is the right call.
Yeah, this is going to overcurl.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Just
Now
not
they got to
enough
keep it
ice.
out so she doesn't promote.
Well, it's a red guard anyway.
There comes plan B, and
Not quite.
no.
Yeah, I think that was just not enough ice, honestly.
As Dan is calling
Dan's
a
calling
draw.
for the draw, yeah.
Yep. I don't know about this either. I kind of like the takeout. I think that's
Yeah,
what he's playing.
That's what Steve asked for, yeah.
Okay,
Gave him
good.
the option, and then Steve opted for the hit.
And that's good. You want to ask your shooter what they feel most comfortable doing. I think Steve is usually more comfortable
go,
throwing
Tom.
a take.
Again, not a lot of ice, especially for control weight. This is going to overcurl also.
Well, maybe they'll get lucky and
They might get the roll off the yellow. Let's see.
no.
Little bump.
Well, that was
Oh,
fortunate.
shot, yeah.
So they missed well.
Yeah. Theme of the day today. Right.
But this does open it up for Tim. Be able to draw in.
She's asking about a run back.
I don't know about that. She's got her guard up there by accident. She might as well use it now and draw. And I think that's what she's calling.
Yeah. She's giving herself a little bit more ice here. Maybe another
not
6
enough.
inches.
Not enough.
But again, the guard that, or the shot that they threw last, ticked the guard and rolled back to the center line. So I still think that's not enough ice. She's got to give herself at least another foot.
I think he's throwing it a little wide, so maybe he subconsciously compensated.
Yeah, they got a little lucky.
Right off. She's going to try the in
Super
off
for
here.
the tick, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll be nice. Slow down. Nope.
No, unfortunately, goes just a little bit far.
It was good thinking on Tim's part. You know, a little
Absolutely.
plan B there.
Absolutely. So we still have 2 yellow, but we have red counting number 3 and 4. So if red can find a way to get those yellows out, they have a chance at a big end.
Well, that's why this shot is so big for Gerlach. If he just throws this in play high, meaning 8
Yeah.
foot or 12 foot,
Yeah.
Tim's going to have a hell of a time.
I don't even mind a 3-guard before or so here, as long as it doesn't overcurl.
Yeah, I would say this is a real huge opportunity. This could be the game changer here.
Oh, Susan sweeper called the light handle. This might overcurl. Oh, and it reversed.
Reverse handle. Maybe they'll
Get
get a
it
wreck
in,
on the
guys.
red. And out count the red. Will Tom be able to do that? No.
No.
Oh, what an unfortunate miss by Gerlach.
So, guys, our ice is very unforgiving for light handles. You got to throw a real positive rock here. Otherwise, you get what we just saw, which is the reverse.
All right, so
that was not a pick. That was a light handle that reversed.
I think, Matt, this is a must make for
Tim
right now, and she's got to give more ice. Got to give more ice. Err on the wide side rather than the narrow side because she's got backing.
Absolutely, I agree.
This has to get in. Has to. I'm hearing narrow.
Sweepers are going.
Yeah, she's going to wreck.
Yep. There's the bump. All right, so...
Unfortunately, they keep leaving the guard there.
Yeah. Gerlach is getting a little lucky here.
Very. He's got
Every
another
time
chance.
They miss, Tim seems to follow up with a miss.
Those are the irritating ends when that happens. You give him a shot like, Moses parting the Red Sea and you beach it anyway. That's a very familiar refrain for anybody who curls.
And Gerlach is adjusting on the broom at least. So
Okay.
They're out in the blue. They're out in the 12-foot.
Dan, I know you're going to be listening later, so this message is for you. Finally.
It only took 7 ends.
It's all right. I already played him on Wednesday, so I don't have to see him again for a little while.
Actually, I think this week you got us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I better be nice. Matt, you're doing a great job.
You don't have to worry about me. You just have to worry about my skip. I'm no threat to anyone.
Well, if you wear that shirt with that tie, I think you might blind us into submission.
That, or at least my shoes will.
I like this ice a lot. Hopefully he can throw a little bit less weight and have the sweepers take him in.
Nice positive handle. That's
one huge advantage that Dan has is he's got great sweeping on this team, and they can really take advantage of it here.
Yeah, they definitely have taken advantage of the sweeping here this weekend. That being said, Tim also has some pretty good sweepers. Apparently, I've been watching them all weekend, and they're both doing very well. We heard from the peanut gallery that Dan was narrow out of his hand. He's getting it by the guard, maybe.
Just passed.
By.
All right.
All right. Well, he's loading up the 4-foot a little bit, or the back 8.
Yeah. So he's a little deep on that one, a little deep and narrow. So he's giving, once again, it's one of those ends.
Yeah,
he's giving Tim another chance. See if she watched where he put the broom, because the broom was right.
She's not going that way. She's
look at this.
The other way.
She's going for the aggressive move through the port on the opposite side. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about this. She's just seen that shot twice. She should know the weight. She should know the line. She's going to do something different here. But you know what? If she's feeling it, she should try it.
Yeah. So over on sheet C, we got 2 yellows in the gutter and 1 high guard. 3 high guards. So they are running out of rocks, but we haven't had a handshake yet.
I think they're getting their money's worth over there. Coastal Carolina is actually a split team. Two people from Coastal, 2 from Ardsley, and really glad that they made the trip and that they were able to find a team.
Yeah, they were the ones who traveled the furthest this year. We're always happy to have friends from out of state.
All right,
Always good to meet new people.
We are now post shimmy, and we are ready to rock.
Okay, here we go. So it looks to be about control hit weight. Oh, and it is curling right out of her hand.
Wow, look at that move.
Hard.
Yep. She's going to wreck on that front guard, perhaps.
Yep,
yes.
There it is.
I was afraid of that.
Yep.
But, she was obviously feeling that. She did not hesitate. She had thought of that shot through, and I think she was going to throw it no matter what. And sometimes you got to go with your gut.
And it is open for, a draw to save the end. So we got to see what Gerlach's going to do here.
Right. That's a nice bonus. That they finally got rid of the guard.
Center guard. So he has to be very careful not to be deep here. If he's deep, he's giving her an open draw with backing. I mean, it's...
And if he is able to make this shot and she misses, thinking ahead to the next shot, this is over because yellow's already counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Pretty much done.
The back red is out counting
right.
The other yellows.
So as important as this shot is, the next one is really going to make the match. We'll have to see what Philly's made of coming up. Right now, Dan's just going to try to make it hard for her.
Oh, and we have handshakes over on sheet C. So Coastal realized they're out of rocks and extended their hands, and congratulations to Philly. So that's Team Boyle. Philly-Boyle has won the C event.
Good run. C event is no picnic. This is going to stop just short. That's good weight, but you're leaving her with just enough to make something.
Yeah, I would say that overcurled, honestly. I think you want that stone on the screen's right-hand side of the center line.
All right, now let's see where she puts the broom. She knows she's got to make a draw.
And she's got to get to the 4
She's got the right broom.
She's giving herself 4 feet here.
So this is why they pay the skips the big bucks.
Absolutely. To be honest with you, I'd even give myself 3 more inches than that.
It's clapping for Coastal Carolina and the winners of the C event, Philadelphia. All right. There's a tendency here to short arm these things. As you get a little nervous, you don't want to mess up,
Yeah, and you got backing, so
she should just let this fly. She's got
do her little shimmy and just let her rip.
A lot of help here. So yellow is sitting 3 right now. She cuts him down to her getting 1. We're headed for an 8th end. If not, I think they may shake. That is wide and heavy-ish. That's coming in. It's got to curl a lot. She might be able to cut him down to 1, maybe? Oh, no.
So that is 3 yellows.
3 yellow. So she let that one go a little wide right out of her hand, a little heavy.
So, Sean, Kate would like to say congrats to you and your team.
Hi, Kate, and everybody else listening back at the Philadelphia Curling Club. Appreciate it.
Congratulations on your win, and we'll let you be. We don't want to bother you, but just figured we'll let you know you have some fans watching out there.
Thanks a lot.
Take care. All right, so that's 3 yellows. That's a
huge
big swing.
Huge swing. So she'll remember that shot. It just was wide right out of her hand, I think, and it didn't. She threw the right weight, I think. It was better to be more aggressive with the weight there, but because she threw it heavier, it didn't have enough time to curl back. But you never know. You can get 3.
So while we're waiting for Susan to throw her rock, we'll take this opportunity to invite you all to the Big Apple Bonspiel, March 22nd to the 25th, 2018. It is an open format, and registration is now open. So for those of you still playing, you can drink.
All right, so these are just going to go through. The idea here is Gerlach has got a big lead, last end. He doesn't want to leave anything up top to get in the way later. That could only hurt him. So he's going to have Susan throw her rocks through the house and just get him out of the way. This is probably the biggest shot of the end right here. He has to make a guard, has to.
Yeah, and it looks heavy.
That's got to slow down. And it will. It will. That's a money shot right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Out of his hand, it looked a lot heavier than that.
Yeah, he must have slowed himself down or pulled back a little bit, but that's a big, big shot. And he's going to throw this one through. Eventually.
I'm not certain why he's giving her the in-turn, though. I think he's calling the tick.
It's going to go through now, regardless of what he called.
I think he called the tick there, although she erred on the proper side there of just getting it out.
Frankly, I don't think she was really buying the call.
Yeah.
Mentally, she just wanted to throw it through.
Oh, look at this. We've got permanent advertising. Thank you, John Schuster, our tech guru.
Pretty sure he hates being called a guru, but...
you don't want to be the guru?
See?
No? What would you like us to call you?
John. That's got to stop as well. Stop.
Oh, and for you gentlemen out there who are interested in coming to Ardsley, we have the 82nd annual McKay Douglas International Bonspiel for men, February 22nd to the 25th, 2018. I believe while you're here, we will also see the gold medal game of the Olympics.
So now it's a takeout game for Gerlach, and he's... Doesn't matter what they hit.
Does
just
not
hit
matter which one.
Something
hit one
red.
of them. Absolutely.
And get out of the way.
We call that the Visine shot. Get the red out.
Get the red out. But the other thing he did nicely there was he peeled.
Peeled, absolutely.
So the yellow is also out of play. So Tim's options are limited here. She's trying to throw a corner guard and hopefully draw one behind there later, but she really needs Gerlach to miss a couple here. At least two. Having done this multiple times, it's awfully hard to get past the last end when you've got to play one more, but you still got a chance. You got to play it.
Absolutely, the players have to keep their heads up. They have to stay focused. It's very easy to let your emotions take control.
So that's a corner guard. It's a little on the high end, which means there's more opportunity to draw and also hit around that corner guard later. But that doesn't matter yet. They're just trying to get the red out. And this will also be a nice peel, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Tom's got that.
He's got that shot going
that
today.
Weight going pretty well.
Yeah,
huh?
Those are dastardly shots too. They can really mess you up in the eighth end. You hit and stick by accident.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you leave them a guard, and then it's on. But so far, Gerlach's playing a very error-free, clean end, which is exactly what they want. He looks pretty relaxed spinning his broom there, too.
Yeah, I think he's channeling George Austin there for a second.
This has got to slow down. Stop, stop, stop. It's just out.
Oh, man, it is just out.
Okay.
That might even be biting the back line. I think it is. It's still in play.
All right, well, they might be able to use it.
It's out of the rings, but it's in play.
They basically got to put every other rock they have in play here. No more guards. They need 3 to tie.
I mean, as Gerlach, I would still hit the high one, honestly.
Yeah, the guard should go.
Although he's calling for the back one.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe it overcurls.
Maybe it overcurls.
Anyway.
This is pretty good weight by Steve, and Susan's plowing in front of it here. It looks pretty good. That's got to come out. It don't stick around.
Uh-oh. Not what they wanted, boys and girls.
No, and he gave up on that too. That's got to roll out. Now she's got to draw down to it, I hope. Looks like she's going around the guard instead.
Yeah, I would go for the bury here as well. The back freeze is.
She can save the she could save the freeze.
Yeah, as long as she's counting behind that guard.
This looks pretty good. It's got a little hot yet. No, it is hot.
Yeah, it's got to come down.
That's through.
Dan's not even sweeping to get it out.
All right, now they're
in trouble because here goes the guard.
Well, it's going to be over now because she's only got 2 more stones left. So they should probably shake after this if he makes it.
They've got 3 left.
3?
Because Steve's throwing and Red has hammer.
Okay, right. So yeah, those are 2 big misses by Philly there in the last end. They had good guards to start too. Well, maybe he'll hit this right on the nose and stick around. And he did. He stuck around.
Yeah.
So that helps Philly a lot. No, not over there. There, yes. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
All right. Now he's just missed this, so it needs more ice.
Yeah, again, not adjusting to the curl.
He should have the weight close, having just missed the last one. But typically what happens is then you underthrow this one. Go. Sweep it. That didn't curl much at all, Matt. All right, that's going to hopefully bury a little bit. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Counting.
Yeah, counting for now. An opportunity for Gerlach.
Gerlach's
if he could throw hack weight at it, he could definitely get around the guard.
Yeah, he could get around both sides, actually. That's deep enough. But he's going to play it safe and remove the guard.
That's not all bad.
That's good. They need 3 here, so.
So she's got to be perfect, and he's got to miss both of his.
Right.
To win, to tie the game.
To tie.
So.
Yeah, that's definitely the right call here.
I like this.
Danger-Lock is playing it safe.
Yep. Speaking of Danger-Lock, Susan does not like being called Mrs. Lock.
I'll keep that in mind when it's tight in the 8th end. He did go for the hit. Look at that.
Oh!
Danger-Lock lives again, but he missed. He missed.
That's the old Gordon shot.
I think he was going for the peel, but he
saved
just
every one of us.
Ticked that one out wide. All right. Philly lives another day. And she is giving herself a little more ice than she gave her vice, Paul. We'll see if she can bury this one. And if she buries this one, Dan knows he has to make. And that's big pressure on Dan.
Yep.
So this just got very interesting.
That was a big miss.
Steve is whispering in his ear right now, "Don't miss the next one, Dan. Whatever you do."
Somehow I got a feeling that's not what he's saying.
That's what he's thinking, that's for sure.
Well, you know, if you want to be a skip in this game, you have to be able to make those pressure shots. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It takes some getting used to.
I get the sense that Dan does not suffer confidence. I think he'll be okay.
And when he's listening to this in a few hours, he's going to really hate that you said that.
I think he's fine, especially now that this one's light. Oh, no.
Oh, that is very unfortunate because that, folks, is the game right there.
That's too bad. You hate to end like that.
Yep.
But, you know, they had a great run. event runners-up.
Handshake, so.
And Dan Gerlach and Team Ardsley have won
the 2017 Cool Duck. Final score of 6-3. And we have handshakes.
Congratulations to the Gerlach rink.
Absolutely. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate you putting up with our witty banter. And don't forget, March 22nd to the 25th is the Big Apple Pond Spill right here at the Ardsley Curling Club.